Thought I heard something there. Now I saw that Conan O'Brien, he's in the headlines now talking about comedians. Okay, talking about uh, just how it, politics is not mixing well with comedy, or they're it's not they're just repeating things that are being done already. Uh, uh, I really don't know what he said too much. I wanted to take a glance at it. I feel like I 1 second. I'm just checking the audio. Okay, I thought I had a speaker going. So Conan O'Brien, he's oh, there is one. Sorry, that was my that was my screen delaying. Thought I heard something. Okay, so old Conan O'Brien here, he's telling other comedians just knock it off. Okay, work on some funny stuff, and we got some recapping from old Adam Carolla. We're gonna see what he's got to say. I've been really been in too much contact with Corolla. Okay, but I do and I did like his Malibu coverage. The Malibu fires occurred last year now, and just complete and utter devastation that everyone seems to have forgotten about. No, we can't remember everything. Okay, so there's chaos and destruction happening all over the world. There's a hyper acceleration that is occurring, and you better get ready for the ride. Okay, so with that, we will seek out comedy because, uh, you know, in the world of reactionary content, you know, headlines king. But I'm not really going for the headlines here. I'm going more for you know, the inner workings of who these people are. So uh, so other people do headlines and do all that, and that's great because I need to know what's going on. But then there's a time where I don't want to hear another take on Whitney Cummings. Okay, I don't care. Okay, but everyone's just jumping on the old Whitney Cummings. Oh, she's padding her numbers. Okay. Um, but it's a bit much. Okay, everyone just, but I latch on to Kurt Metzger. He, I got to give him some room because spend a lot of time watching his stuff, and it is fun. It is fun to watch. But then I'm also not. I'm enjoying it so much, and it's not getting me reactive. I just want to join in on the conversation. Um, so now that I've had a bit of that, now I'm ready to react. Ooh, finally, because the 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 soul searching and the not soul searching, but the soul feeding is done. Okay, I'm ready to lash out at these comedians that think that all this stuff is so funny. Uh, so we'll see where we go from there. Uh, and this is all in, you know, people will know when I'm joking and when I'm not. Okay, but it's all real, all real. Don't even think it's This is satire, and we're just having fun at their expense. So, old Eddie Bravo talking about global government, the old NWO. Um, uh, Adam Carolla in the mix again. So I don't know if we'll even get to it, and here old Mersh. Now I will get a take on Mersh, or I'll get Mersh's take on Whitney Cummings. But outside of that, you ain't gonna get me to watch a redacted one. Okay. Although I think I did watch a bit of one, or one of those redacted effects ones. But and here we are, a little bit of the Dave Smith. We're gonna see what the politics feels like. Okay, after hopefully Stavros here. Sorry, I didn't mean to pass up old Stavros here. And it looks like he's got a little bit of a compilation. So this is straight up stand-up comedy. So after kind of hearing, about what's wrong with comedy, and then getting a little bit of a take of it, then trying to see what the comedians are doing, then we're gonna actually get someone to do some comedy finally. So comedians talking comedy. Oof. So we're not really there for that, but we are there to see the dynamic. Okay, there's a lot there, and there's a big old relationship with Mark Norman and Jerry Seinfeld. He opened for him, and that's his idol. But then there was a little bit of a riff. Old Jerry Seinfeld just kind of kept him in check a couple times and threw Mark off. He thought he might have hurt Jerry Seinfeld's feelings. Didn't consider him funny. And Sam Morril here, I have never considered funny at all. Mark Norman's humor is, you kind of have to, it's an acquired taste. It's punny and, in the moment kind of stuff. And that's, me saying good things about it. So, but I don't even think I've even watched a full special of his. I couldn't imagine hearing him speak for more than 10 minutes. Because he always sounds like this, and pull it up. He's got his things that he's got to do every time. But not me. Everything's unique. I can't even do my old voices anymore. So I try so hard, and it just, my soul won't let me. Okay, so these are soulless people that just, at a old drop of a bucket, they'll just jump right into a character. How dare you be good at characters? And then we got a little, Dabble versus Burnout. Now, okay, so this is pretty antisocial. So she does a little, recapping on Dabbleverse stuff. Now, I don't pay attention to Dabbleverse at all. I like a little bit of Mersh and a little bit of Melton. And even then, you gotta, I like how Melton puts on a show, and it's all this community, and everyone's, now I don't know anything about that community, and I don't plan on getting to know anything outside of just a random person in the chat. But they'll kind of hang out together and have like yearly social gatherings and stuff. So I think that's great. And but again, he's been doing it for a long time, 15 years. Old Melton has been doing this comedy podcast and streaming. So So I can definitely give him flowers when it comes to how he puts on the whole show and does his chat system. And he invented the chat super super chat uh, dot gg thing or whatever it's called, where they have AI voices reading off whatever the people want it to say, and it's very clever and it's funny. And when it works well, and when it doesn't, it's uh, it, it's a buzzkill. So, but I would say it's people enjoy it more than they're not enjoying it. Uh, so she's experienced a little bit of the burnout, but wanted just to show same old backdrop. Okay, they love that color. Here's another one. Oh God, look at this. Joel McHale? Is that McHale? Is that how you say his last name? Oof. He's insufferable. But I don't know why you're even on this list. Maybe do a little dip into conspiracy here too, and I feel like it's been so long since I've watched a Kerp episode. So let's because we got a lot of people reacting to Conan, but I like to take a look at the source. I hope they don't strike me. I wonder if I flip it. Here, let me.
Hello, everyone. I'm
gonna mute the intro just in case something. I don't know. Maybe they can. Maybe the AI can do something with the intros or something. So I'm gonna mute the music and mute the intros. He's just announcing old Conan. Oops.
Before that, please join me in welcoming back to the Oxford Union, Conan O'Brien.
Man, every time he's on every time, and he's got a crowd like this. Look at that.
Welcome.
Okay. So, I mean, that right there. Look at that. Now, granted, this is his his mask smile, his pretending to be all hi, and then he'll kind of go back, he'll settle back in, but still it's funny, it's consistent, and Jeff Dye will never do anything remotely close to anything like this. So, and I mean, just the stories with Conan O'Brien, and when he got kicked off the show, and he had to start, figure out a way to do a variety show, and that's, I don't want to belittle what he was coming up with, calling it a variety show, but that man was just figuring out how to get his staff paid, and so again, like, that's a showman. Okay, that's a showman. He's funny. He's one of those faces that will just make you laugh. And not that he's overtly funny looking. It's just he's he's welcoming the laugh. He plays into a little bit of his, a little bit of his ego, and tries to be a bit more like cocky, or like a funny arrogant, but it's not it's done very well. And again, Jeff Dye, you ain't ever going to be as funny as Conan was just in that brief moment right there. Okay. So, sorry, bud. Gotta look into doing something else, okay? Because you ain't funny. Let me adjust my screen here. But it's good to see Conan out and about, and let's see what he's got to say.
Look at that applause! Wow,
Incredible.
Yes.
Incredible.
excited to be back.
Maybe the greatest round of applause anyone's received in the history of this chamber, and I thank you for it.
Yeah, it's the Conan cockiness, that I like it. Okay, it's again it's because it's not this arrogant kind of thing. It's just a cute cocky. So I can get behind that. Especially when when you make a fool of yourself while you're doing it. You can't just kind of bask in it without a little bit of showmanship effort. So he's fully invested.
So let's start at the beginning. You said before that you once made a list of things you were good at, and comedy was the only one thing that you didn't cross off.
Yes.
So what made you decide to follow that instinct so early on?
Well, I believe, is this water?
Sparkling water.
Pity. Yes, okay, let's get down to it, shall we? Yes, I think we all do this in some form or another, consciously or subconsciously. I've lost your attention already. Look at this guy.
Let's try it here. That's a big old comedy hit there. I got sound effects now.
Sorry, I was just.
What else do you have to do?
I was just looking where you're.
Anyway, I'll say this about Cambridge: they pay attention. I do want to say, I mentioned to someone yesterday, I didn't know this.
What a
said,
long
what else
shot.
are you doing while you're here? And I mentioned I was coming here, and they were livid. Turns out they went to Cambridge. They were furious. And I know that you guys don't feel that same way. You
Well, we don't
love
really
your other
care.
schools. What's that?
Well, we don't really care about them. We just do our best.
Okay. All
And
right.
I was trying to find where your wife and assistant are because I couldn't find them in the seats we
Who
saved
cares? I'm out of the country. It's time to play. Hi, honey. It's my wife's birthday, by the way. About 3 days ago, I realized, wait a minute, what are we doing on Liza's birthday? And she said, I'm sitting listening to you talk at Oxford, which is, I think, the 9th level of Dante's Hell for you. But just the me talking, not the Oxford part. You had a question and then you got distracted. Let's start again.
So my question was, what made you decide on the instinct to follow comedy so early on? What got you into it?
Well, I was saying I have this belief that all of us consciously, subconsciously run through a checklist when we're very young. What arrows, if any, do I have in my quiver? What do I have? And I was one of 6 children, and thought my brothers, sisters are better at things than I am. What do I have to contribute? And then you have friends, and you realize, okay, am I an athlete? No, I am not. Am I? Do the ladies like me? No, they do not. That's all changed. Shouldn't laugh. And you run through this, checklist, and then I realized very soon that the one thing I could do was make my friends laugh. And I think it's evolutionary. We just lean on those things.
Yeah, I agree. So I find that those things that always kind of reoccur in your life, just lean into them. I'm going to skip ahead here because we're just going to get a little bit of the meat of it. Oh, come on, Safai.
As a freshman, which doesn't happen a lot. Then they made me president when I was a sophomore, which doesn't really happen. Then they made me president again.
All right, so we're just going through bio here. Try and get past all this so I can react to something.
As a junior, I was the Franklin Roosevelt of the Lampoon. I'll explain that later. It really, after that, I said, whatever happens now, I have to do this. I have to do this for a living, even if it means I make no money. Whatever happens, I'm all in. So I had made that decision before I even graduated.
Right. So you said that you were, when you were in Boston at the stadium and you were performing, you were doing the same thing as you were doing since 3rd grade. And in your career, we've seen you maintained quite a consistent comedic voice. So how confident were you in your approach to comedy beginning when you were starting off your career? And as you interacted with other comedians, did you ever adapt your style or flirt with other
he is
comedy,
boring.
other angles and inspire, or learn something from different comedians as you interacted with them throughout your career?
Okay, that's 7 questions.
Yeah.
And I see what you're doing now, and I'm going to answer 9 of them. I was not confident. And I try to tell that to young people all the time, is you cannot believe.
So Conan recognizes it. He's already getting worn out. It's like, how is he going to answer these type of questions? So not a really funny setting. So they're kind of forcing them to be serious.
Raw I felt when I started in comedy.
And granted, where he's at too, I understand, but he's already not having fun. He's like, why did I do this?
First time I got started in 1985 writing for a television show, and wasn't sure that I would. And my writing partner was a very good friend of mine, hilarious guy named Greg Daniels, and we went out there together. He's later gone on to create The Office, King of the Hill. There's too many shows. He's created half the television shows in America, and he's brilliant, but far wealthier than I. But we went out, and I just didn't know if it would work. And what I found is that, the confidence was very slow in coming, very, very slow in coming. And it took me I mean, I had a lot of success. We did that. Then I did the Saturday Night Live. Then I did The Simpsons. And I had success in those places. But for some
What a
reason,
resume.
the confidence and the sense that maybe I'm talented and I have something to offer was very slow in coming. And maybe that helped me, I don't know, but it made it for a harrowing journey for me, because I always thought, now it's over, now it's over, now it's over. I don't think I was that influenced by other people I knew as much as I was influenced by shows I had seen. And I'm not just saying this because I was here, because I'm in this space, but when I was growing up, a real inspiration for me was the comedy that was coming out of Britain. I just thought it was far superior to what we were doing. I thought in a couple of ways they had cracked it.
True.
Especially Monty Python, when I saw it for the first time. Sketches ending when they have reached their peak funniness and they don't need to resolve, because you can say, and now for something completely different. That was an Oppenheimer moment for me. And I remembered thinking, I worked in American comedy for years and years and years after that, and I thought, we still haven't caught up. At Saturday Night Live, I was appalled that we're still trying to come up with an ending for a live sketch. Well, I guess we really are the fat family. Ha ha! Doom, 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 doom. You know, I just thought, Saturday Night Live, why are they doing that when Monty Python cracked this? I mean, I'm there in 1988, 89, 90, and
Wow.
Monty Python figured this out in 1969. So I thought, I do think we ended up adopting a lot of very British moves, and you saw shows like the Ben Stiller Show or Mr. Show. And since then, I've just, Tim Robinson's show. There's so much comedy that I really love that I think is brilliant, that I think may come even more from a niche British sensibility. And so that was something that I was really inspired by.
Right. So as you said, you worked on some of the most iconic shows in comedy, including Simpsons, SNL, Late Night, Tonight Show. Could you share a highlight from each of those defining periods of your life, which really, like, a highlight that encapsulates the experience for you? So that's 4 questions.
Okay.
Simpsons, SNL, Late Night, and Tonight Show.
I limited you to so many questions, and you very brilliantly, and it's really a credit to Oxford, have put 9 questions within each question, like a Trojan horse. But I'm fine with it. I really am, and I also hate you. Saturday Night Live, a moment that really sticks out for me was one of the producers early on said, that Conan guy, he's funny. One of the ways I wrote was to just behave say silly things, act silly things out in front of the other writers. They would laugh, and then someone in the room would say, write that up. I didn't know that that was a sketch, so I would write it up. And that's how things got on the air that I worked on. This one writer-producer, Jim Downey, said, hey, we have this sketch. It was the first 5 Timers Club sketch that Saturday Night Live ever did. And they've since done it a million times, where once a host has hosted more than 5 times, or the 5th time, they induct them into a club, and there's a room sort of like this. It's very beautiful room, and they're welcomed in, and they're given a special 5 Timers robe. And they brought me in. This writer-producer said, Conan, we need someone to open the door and usher Tom Hanks in.
Hold on a second. All right, hold on. Did you just realize that you probably shouldn't have said that name? So, are you talking about some kind of and you'll see this a lot throughout the whole thing. And this is worry. I mean, it could be, you know, the financial concerns of his staff, you know, like that whole era when he's, you know, trying to figure out how to juggle all this. But that's a deep concern about uh, like a possible outcome. Well, it makes sense if he was one of the writers of Simpsons, how they're coming up with all sorts of predictions and stuff. I mean, um, so, I mean, he's obviously highly intelligent. Okay, Harvard grad. That only the finest are doing Simpsons and Saturday Night Live, and he busted out of the writers' room and was able to do his own stuff. Um, but there's a lot of this, you know, like this doesn't necessarily look like oral fixation. This might be muscle memory. You know, how many times you put that gun in your mouth, Conan? Huh? Thought about it. Just can't stop that brain from going and going. So you've actually considered it. You wanted to know what it's like.
They brought me in. This writer producer said, Conan, we need someone to open the door and usher Tom Hanks in. And
Okay, let me. Sorry, I got a bit distracted. I was trying to figure out what this was for. It was because you got the coat and
write that up. I didn't know that was a sketch, so I would write it up, and that's how things got on the air that I worked on.
Here, let me just take it back a little bit.
Say silly things, act silly things out in front of the other writers.
Sorry, I got to pay attention.
They would laugh, and then someone in the room would say, "Write that up." I didn't know that was a sketch, so I would write it up, and that's how things got on the air that I worked on. This one writer-producer, Jim Downey, said, "Hey, we have this sketch. It was the first Five Timers Club sketch that Saturday Night Live ever did. And they've since done it a million times where once a host has hosted more than 5 times, or the 5th time, they induct them into a club, and there's a room sort of like this. It's very beautiful room, and they're well.
Okay, and that's, like Alec Baldwin, right, was one of those 5 timers. Wasn't there another one recently? What do they got to do to be part of the club, Conan? Okay, that's just too much worry and concern for just to tell a story of a sketch about a real life thing. So they're writing a sketch about becoming part of the 5 timer club, because the 5 timer club is a real thing. Just like Disney's Club 33 studio or whatever it's called. So you get a old jacket like you're a little frat, gonna play golf later, and get your little insignia on it, But why you?
The host has hosted more than 5 times, or the 5th time, they induct them into a club, and there's a room sort of like this. It's very beautiful room, and they're welcomed in, and they're given a special 5-timers robe. And they brought me in. This writer-producer said, Conan, we need someone to open the door and usher Tom Hanks in. And I said, okay. And I was nervous. I was so nervous because it's live television. It's a huge deal. Tom Hanks is a massive star. And all my job is to open the door for him and say, hello, Mr. Hanks. And his line was, hello, Sean. And then all I have to do is take his jacket off. There's a silk robe hanging on the wall on a peg behind me. And I take it off and I put it on him. That's all I have to do. He comes in and he goes, I say, welcome, Mr. Hanks. And he says, hello, Sean. I take his jacket off, I grab the silk robe, and I go to put it on, and it jams on his arm. And it's live television. I've since looked at the clip.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Let me take that back, and yeah. That is a bit cultish. Interesting. And he's kind of do you think that this might be a way that he's like letting the cat out of the bag a bit, where he's kind of letting the public know, what old Tom Hanks is up to? I mean, he's been part of the old club for a long time, so. I still have a bit of a not a deja vu. Old Candace Owens is talking about deja vuing. Okay. A bit of a Mandela effect, because I'm pretty sure Tom Hanks being in the movie Big, where he becomes a child, and at the end of the movie, because he had that fortune teller thing, give him a wish or something. Oh, maybe he was a child that wanted to be big, right? And so then he was big, like an adult, for a week or whatever it was. However long P. Diddy let all the Bieber boy hang out. You can be an adult for a week, whatever you want. You can drive around that car, you can jump around, you can even have a trampoline in the bedroom. Doesn't that sound fun? Do whatever you want like an adult. So he played big, and at the end of the movie, he went back to it being a child. Okay. Now, I'm pretty sure I saw that thing in the movie theater. But it might have been VHS. But I could have sworn I seen the ending where then the girl turns into a kid, and it cuts to, like, the movie ends, and then it cuts to that kid as a boy in a school, or in his classroom, and then they announce that they have a new student, and it's the girl who had changed herself into a kid, and now she's a kid in the school. But if you go back, I mean, I haven't gone back and checked it, but last time I checked, I didn't think that was an ending. So I don't know if that was a Mandela effect or I just made that up. But if they didn't, they should have done that, because that would have been a great ending. it's interesting that he chose a story about Tom Hanks of all people, when he could have shared some other yeah, yep. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this seems very, very specific. He's trying to have some public awareness, or get some public awareness on this individual, because even the movie Catch Me If You Can, all Tom Hanks running around trying to grab a. Sorry, my headphones going crazy. Leonardo DiCaprio. So, you go back and look at all those old movies, and it tells the story of what's going on now. So, and he was also in that. Was he also in the Two Men and a Baby or something? Like, there's a lot of movies about babies back in like the mid 80s, or maybe early 80s. Like Look Who's Talking. Look Who's Talking Now. That was a huge hit, and it was all baby baby focused. So, but yeah, old Conan here. Thank you for the story, Conan, because you are very smart. Okay, you know exactly what you're doing, and he wants to make sure that we're following along. Like, he's like, I'm not going to allow Tom Hanks to, whatever. Okay, allegedly. So he's, woo, man. Okay, that's one smart cookie. So don't let that hair fool you. Don't let that. He he can plot things out, plan them out, and plot them out. Now, hold on a second here. He had the Christmas party. Like, he was very connected with the Reiners. Okay, now this is I forgot about this stuff, because again, Control of History is talking about how they activate MK Ultra people by giving them a phrase to then get locked in and basically be in a hypnotic state, and then carry out acts. So now the story is that there was it was kind of inferred that Nick was a bit being disruptive, and seeing if are you famous? Are you famous? So now, anyway, I forgot about that already. See that? It's like a lot of tragic things are happening out there, and we're all just gonna find the good. Okay. But yeah, okay. So a little bit of an incident with the Reiners. Okay, he had a party, and the other Saturday Night Live guy from old Oklahoma with 1,000,000 impressions. He was there too, and where was that? So I believe that Conan O'Brien had a Christmas party, and the Reiners were there, along with that other actor who was in Saturday Night Live and impersonates, Al Pacino. Forgot his name, but they had an interaction with Nick, and then that's when Nick left, and then later on that night, apparently, he went back to the house, Tucker Carlson's house. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, you were saying Travolta and Krista Alley both Scientology. Exactly. Okay. So like, there's and you're seeing these movies now with Erica Kirk. These like industrial clips or films that she's making, where it's about the CIA and gathering intelligence, and it's almost like they're kind of acting out certain things, just the same way that these movies, kind of present certain scenarios and all that. But so interesting. Well, he is he must have a lot on his mind then.
They brought me in. This writer-producer said, Conan, we need someone to open the door and usher Tom Hanks in. And I said, okay. And I was nervous. I was so nervous because it's live television. It's a huge deal. Tom Hanks is a massive star. And all my job is to open the door for him and say, hello, Mr. Hanks. And his line was, hello, Sean. And then all I have to do is take his jacket off. There's a silk robe hanging on the wall on a peg behind me. And I take it off and I put it on him. That's all I have to do. He comes in and he goes, I say, welcome, Mr. Hanks. And he says, hello, Sean. I take his jacket off. I grab the silk robe and I go to put it on and it jams on his arm. And it's live television. I've since looked at the clip. It resolves very quickly. I died 10 times. In the 5-second delay that there is, I'm thinking, this is not, I will become famous as the idiot who couldn't put a robe on Tom Hanks. And,
okay. Now, Conan does have that side. Like, he does have that, that showmanship. But look at Coney. Yeah. But yeah, you might be saying something here.
It is burned into my brain to this day. Victories I soon forget. Momentary humiliations, like this one now, burn forever.
And what about the other shows? So
Simpsons, a big moment for me was I pitched a few ideas. They thought
Oh, so something happened at Tucker Carlson? Yeah, what was that? Hmm. Maybe it was at Carlson's, and maybe Conan was there. I but I don't think that Tucker Carlson lived in LA. I think he's like in Wyoming or something. Okay. Uh, but yeah, old Conan here. He's
funny, and then someone goaded me to pitch this idea I had told them that I never thought would fly, and
I,
it was a thing.
I thought that Tom Hanks would go a little further. It kind of cut short there. He didn't really. Um, I thought he was going to go a little bit deeper uh into the Tom Hanks, but and I'm not even going to screen capture this, okay? Because yeah, mad respect for you, but
I actually found a piece of paper recently. It's on a legal pad.
keep those eyes open.
And it says on the legal pad, I've kept everything. So I found this legal pad that says monorail, arrow, and then it's, Homer likes the idea, Marge skeptical, and then another arrow.
Whoa.
Act 1, Music Man parody. Act 2, Irwin Allen disaster parody from the 70s. And nothing has come to me that quickly in my life. It just, and I wrote it in a fever dream, and
Wow.
I pitched this idea, and the guy who's really the icon, one of the great icons of American television and movies, no one noticed.
Yes, be mad about it. Be mad about it.
James L. Brooks,
Nice.
he started laughing immediately. And they have a little gong in the Simpsons room, and they bang it when an idea is going to be done, produced. And they banged the gong, and I couldn't believe they were going to make that episode.
Oh, this is his first episode.
After everything I've purportedly achieved or haven't achieved, everything I've done, no matter where I am in the world, I could be in a field, anywhere in the world, and people don't even speak English. They'll point to me and they go like, monorail. And
I don't
it's
even know
this
the reference.
amazing connection
I don't even-
to that moment when I was 25, and again, really scared and thought I was in over my head.
Okay, I think he might have kind of he's been living in his own story for a while. Okay, I'm not really knowing the monorail reference, but I'm also not much of a reference guy, so that means I need to watch more stuff. But yeah, he's talking about how just identified with The Simpsons and all that. But so that was his first episode that got
So
on
you've
there.
talked about Norm Macdonald, Kevin Nealon, Bill Hader, Will Ferrell,
Bill Hader, that's
and among
one.
many others who were some of your favorite.
So Bill Hader was at the party. And I'm sure it was, hey, you're making a scene, you need to get out of here. And and whatever. But seeing like there's security camera footage of Nick Reiner walking from the party to a gas station and to the hotel. And he seems calm, you know, maybe like he doesn't seem like he's out of control or anything. So now he might have been a bit irritated, but what if he was given an old locking phrase to lock him into something? Billy Hader was doing some movies about, see, now, I mean, now he's all murdering people and trying not to get murdered. Like that's all of his movies now. He's like killing people with guns. So people now are jujitsu masters and gun kung fu masters. You ain't ever gonna get me with your kung fu, Conan.
Guests that you have collaborated with. So, who are some of the other, perhaps lesser known voices that you absolutely loved having on the show?
Well, I think John Mulaney is brilliant. I just love the way he thinks, and he's lightning fast, and I like his diction. I like the way
Wow.
he always uses precisely the right word, and I'm proud to call him a friend. I'm just, you can make a choice in your career as you get older.
Like I've never, like John Mulaney did that one, like the one prank where, or what was it? It was some kind of weird obstacle course thing where he set himself in his own trap, and but then there was something else too where, oh yeah, where he would be depantsed by like a mechanical arm if something didn't happen in a certain amount of time, and he was in front of a bunch of kids, so he would then be committing a crime. So like that's the only thing I really know about, and he's old Conan O'Brien out of all the people. Old John Mulaney. He's like coming into a different era. He's married to uh that old lady. Forgot her name. Um, but yeah, like I don't know really what he's done recently. So maybe I thought he took some time off. Actually, I thought he wasn't going to be doing comedy for a while. Or no, he did take some, because he was like a was it just coke? He was like, he was a big old coke addict. Um,
Am I going to be frightened and envious and jealous of new incredible talent? Or am I going to choose to be very happy that they're on this earth? And I went the second route, and it's been a blessing because I just keep meeting people all the time, some of them complete unknowns in their 20s, 30s, who are absolutely hilarious and inventive. And it makes me happy. It makes me feel inspired that there are these people that are in your generation of comic talent, and they're going to think of things in rhythms that I never thought of. And I've watched with my son and my daughter, they're big comedy fans.
Yeah.
Not of my work, but watching Tim Robinson sketches and
Oops, I'm gonna skip through all this here. Um, yeah, good stuff. Um, And, and I don't even have to get to the stuff he's going to say that's so controversial, but, because everyone's going to be covering that. But I like to get a sense of just how he initially came into this situation, into this room. Get a sense of how, his room control was amazing. And, he was doing most of the talking instead of old Jeff having Jamie do all the talking for him. So he realized that, he's got to do a great intro and entertain, and then he kind of, nestled into the real here.
As a society, and it culminates in him running away. There's not a good classic structure to the sketch. I can't tell you why it's so funny to me, but he's picking up on a rhythm that really makes me happy. So I'm always looking for that, and I'm really happy that there are people like that out there, and more all the time.
You have the rare privilege of talking to so many of the most defining political, cultural, social figures of the last 2 decades. What have you observed about that makes a person interesting?
I like a person who, I like humility, which is hard to find, sadly, and harder to find every day.
True. I mean, it's, especially in the younger generation, and they got everything on, social media. Like, you don't just leave school and it's done. All that goes home with them. So they got all that homework that they gotta do goes home with them. They got all the drama stays on the online. They can never escape it. And yeah. All Conan here.
In America, anyway. I think we seem to worship at the altar of bravado.
Oh, yes. The humility.
And certainty. And I
Yes.
like people who are uncertain and make room for nuance and make room for gray areas and are willing to change their minds. Those are the qualities that I really love. And I think that is something I found in a bunch of very important leaders that I've had a chance to interview. And also sense of humor. If someone has a sense of humor,
That's important.
it makes a big difference.
And Jeff Dye does not. He has no sense of humor. He is Jeff Dry. Okay? He is Jeff Dry. Just dry, middle of the road humor. Not even humor, just headlines. And Conan here is funny, self-deprecating, a little bit cocky, very knowledgeable, huge accomplishments within that field. And yeah, big old boss having his lady sit there and watch all of this on her birthday. So it's just another Tuesday for old Coney. Yeah. He's gonna add it into his vacation.
I've had the privilege of entertaining Barack Obama, President Obama, and also getting to interview him, be in the same room with him a number of times. And you get over the fact that he's Barack Obama sooner than you'd think, because he's funny, and it's fun to be with him and experience that and realize that he's making me comfortable. He's just being very funny in the moment. There's an event in
unlike
the United
the interviewer
States called the White House Correspondents' Dinner. I did it under, you perform in front of the president and the press corps, and it's terrifying because the room is 4 times bigger than this room, 10 times bigger than this room. It's massive, and they fill it with a cynical press corps. That's your audience. And then they let the leader of the free world go first. And comedy is all about status. Who's got the biggest status in the room? It makes a big difference. And
well, that makes a lot of sense of Conan's humor. You know, he's maintaining that status, and that's actually very insightful.
So the second time I did it, President Obama gets up, and he's had the best joke writers writing for him for months. He's had people at the Pentagon writing him jokes. I'm not kidding, he's had Steven Spielberg and all the great comedy producers getting all these writers to send stuff in, and they've crafted this set. And it's also, as it gets more and more sophisticated, President Obama each year would have more and more graphics behind him, like he's doing Weekend Update on SNL. I don't have any of that. And he's destroying it. And meanwhile, to make things harder, they have me at a dais with Mrs. Obama, who's lovely and fantastic and charming, but I'm trying to watch the president to see, because they haven't told me what jokes he's doing. What if he did a joke about term limits? What if he did a joke about the Environmental Protection Agency? I've got to then pull that joke out of because I go second, I've got to pull it out. I'm trying to pay attention to that. And Michelle Obama is telling me their plan for where their kids go to school and how she's mad at one of her daughters because she got home late last night and the Secret Service had to go find her. And I'm like, that's great. What? Did he do term limits? And she's like, I don't know. And she was like, I don't really listen to that guy. And I'm like, that guy? That's President Obama. And then Obama ends, literally mic drop. Place goes crazy while they're cheering for him and he's making his way back to his seat. A very faint voice from God into a microphone says, President Conan O'Brien. And to silence, I stand up, I make my way over to the podium, and I can hear my shoes squeaking. And then you're starting at an exact dead stop. So when I had President Obama on my podcast a couple of years ago, I brought this all up to him. And I said, you really do have an unfair advantage. You really should go second because you're the President of the United States. I should go first and warm the room up, and you should go second and kill. That's how it should work. And he went, yeah, I'd like to go first. And I said, I know, but it would be better for the comedians. And he went, yeah, but I don't care. And he said it in this way that was very funny and knowing, and I thought, God love him. Yeah, that's right. So that's what I look for. Is I look for people who have, who you could sit and, it's the old saw in politics is would you sit and have a drink with this person? But when I think about many people in politics, and sometimes on both sides, I think I wouldn't want to have a drink with any of them. Or it would have to be a lot of drinks.
All right, so I let that run a little bit long there, but there's a nice. This is him probably coming into the whole politic talk, and sorry about that. Yep. All right. So this is at the other peak. So he could hang with Obama, and who couldn't? Um, he's the everyman. But now he's gonna talk a little bit about politics.
But and maybe some other stuff too. Pills would be involved. Look, don't do drugs, or do. You should cut back. But yeah, it's that's what I look for. Those are the qualities I love: humility, sense of humor, and some glimmer of humanity.
Right.
You'll get there. I love this guy. Where's she going? Who's this guy?
She's a big fan of mine. She doesn't like a taxi.
Oh, big fan. Well, I gotta go.
So, I know you were famously uncomfortable with praise, but let me...
No, bring it on. In America, I am, but once I get off that continent, bring it on.
So you recently received the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor, which I'm sure has led you to reflect on your career. So what are you most proud of in your career so far? And what is one thing that you would change?
Well, I think I'm...
Was that? Wait. I'm trying to find where you got so controversial about politics.
Recently, it's on a legal pad.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Hold on.
Since
Is that it? I mean, the way everyone's talking about this, he said something huge. I mean, I went for the clickbait. Okay, I'm being controversial.
I look for people who have
We saw this already. Huh?
who you could sit and
Wow.
Late night. So namely your thoughts on Colbert's show ending and Kimmel's very short-lived cancellation that he had. What's your perspective and take on that in the States at the moment?
Well, these are both friends of mine, and I think they're really talented comedians, and they're fantastic. So I'm biased. With Jimmy Kimmel, it was very clear to all of us instantly. It was a visceral feeling, like someone putting their thumb on your open eye, of an FCC chairman who was clearly putting his hand on the scale and saying,
It's pretty wild.
And saying, you know, we can do this the easy way or we can do it the hard way. And that very much influenced these station groups. That's how it looked to all of us. That's just wrong. It's absolutely wrong. And all of us to a person immediately said, this can't happen. It's insane. This goes against a very sacred principle of free speech. So yes, I was completely against that.
Because that was such a strange time. Okay, like what's with all these strange times that you can't vocalize things anymore? And old Conan here.
And I think that quickly went away. That quickly, I wouldn't say it went away for now. Stevens, a situation where, look, there were some economic realities with these shows, which is they're not these cash machines that they were. I've lived through it too. I've seen these shows with the rise of the internet and so many choices. I mean, literally, one of the reasons that I thrived at 12:35 in America in the 90s was people up that late had nothing else to do.
There you go.
And people used to stop me on the street and say, Conan, I really love your show. And I'd say, that's so nice. And then they would immediately tell me why they were up at 12:35. I have a burn. I need to apply a cream every 4 hours. And they would go into great detail. I'm a nursing mother and my baby, and I have a glass eye and I need to take it out at 12:30 and oil it. And it was not a compliment to me at all. It was just, that is not the case anymore. Anyone in this room, if you're up at 12:30 and you can't sleep and you don't want to study, which is clearly the case, you can watch any film, director's cut, made in the history of mankind. You can read any book on your Kindle that's ever been written and have it instantly. You can watch any video. You can see any TV show. And so how can a late night show compete? So the terrain is not the same. But in Stephen's case, I also think that there's a little bit of clearly, there's a merger going on. And sometimes I think people are very eager to make the administration happy. And that can speed things up a bit. And maybe it's convenient to say, hey, guess what? We're going to wind up Stephen's tenure. So the flip side of all that is that a lot of people talk about voices being silenced. And I think in this world now, that is very hard to do. So I'm proof. I wrapped up my show 4 years ago, and I've never been busier. Just walking through London or many European cities, I'm constantly being stopped by people, and they tell me they're listening to my podcast when I bump into them. So I have a connection with people that's more intimate than the one that I had before. And I'm doing this HBO Max show where I get to go to different countries. And
that's the thing. It's like, I'm glad that he's not trying to stick with that old format. I mean, he's, jump on the old bandwagon, get yourself podding, get an old podcast and start broadcasting. And because no one's watching them late night shows. No one's really going out to the theaters on a regular basis anymore. I mean, I used to, one of my favorite things was to call the theater place and hear all the listings. And you have to hear them through, and no one's doing that anymore. So those theater days are long gone. All right, appreciate it, Jan. But so he's able to see those next moves, and gotta change it up a bit. So
connect with people, and that is a godsend, and it's because of technological changes that have just come about recently. So Jimmy's not going anywhere, Stephen's not going anywhere, no one's going anywhere. They're all going to reinvent themselves in ways and be part of people's lives. And if a good idea will always rise to the top, anyone of my generation who has a good, funny idea will be able to get it out, and you or students 10 years from now will see it online. You'll hear it on a podcast. It's really a beautiful thing.
We were talking about all this upstairs before, but you made some very interesting observations about Trump and how his character himself and how his presidency has impacted comedy. Yeah. You mind sharing them with the chamber as well?
Yeah, I've just been saying for a while that people that
Okay, here it
maybe
is.
know less about comedy or haven't given it a lot of thought say, oh my God, Trump is president. This must be so great for comedy. And I think it's not. Because when I was on the Lampoon, one of the things we were famous for is doing parodies of magazines. So let's parody People magazine. Let's put Brooke Shields on the cover holding a fish, which we did. And I wasn't on staff then, but it was really funny. And they would do these parodies
sure?
of
No one's
a
laughing.
magazine where they would mock the tone. They would make fun of it in a
completely
satirical
desensitized.
way. And they would come out and they were very popular. There was one magazine we could never do a parody of, which is the National Enquirer. Because the National Enquirer, a typical, I don't know if you have that here, but in the States, the National Enquirer is the one that says, Elvis found in Titanic lifeboat 105 years after sinking. He is now a woman and he's married a giant peanut butter sandwich. And that is a legitimate, real Enquirer cover. How do you parody that? You can't. And I think with Trump, we have a similar situation in comedy.
Well, and that's, again, why, in my opinion, Saturday Night Live took a huge hit. Because they just kept doing, for their opener, they're just constantly doing the latest news. And they weren't even doing anything different. They were just repeating those things because they didn't need to change what was being said because everything that was said was so crazy to begin with. So that's what I was saying. It's just, if comedy is going to be doing that, it's just better to watch it from the people who did it originally. Like I'm going to watch Kanye go crazy than watch someone on Saturday Night Live act like him and go crazy, because that's not funny. That's just repeating the things that he's done. So there's no shock in it. So you're basically just trying to play a moral high ground and then use it as a means to share your political side. So it's not funny. It's just you're just picking sides. So Conan lays it out pretty nicely there. It's hard to parody something that is already a parody. So
Is people saying, we've got a great Trump sketch for you. In this one, he's kind of talking crazy. And he's saying stuff, and he tears down half the White House to build a giant ballroom. And he says it's going to be the new Mar-a-Lago. Yeah, no, that happened yesterday. Oh, well, where's my check? You don't get a check. Come back to me and tell me when you've got an idea. And so comedy needs a straight line to go off of. And we don't have a straight line right now. We have a very bendy, rubbery line. We have a slinky. We have a fire hose that's whipping around, spewing water at 100 miles an hour or something else. I don't know. So comedically, it's been very, very challenging. And I think some comics go the route of, I'm going to just say F Trump all the time, or that's their comedy. And I think, well, now a little bit you're being co-opted because you're so angry. You've been lulled. It's like a siren leading you into the rocks.
Yep.
You've been lulled into just saying F Trump, F Trump, F Trump, screw this guy. And I think you've now put down your best weapon, which is being funny. and you've exchanged it for anger. And that person or any person like that would say, well, things are too serious now. I don't need to be funny. And I think, well, if you're a comedian, you always need to be funny. You just have to find a way. And you just have to find a way.
And Jeff Dry is not ever going to find a way. Okay? You are not funny. Jeff Dry, you are dry. You are Jeff Dry. Okay? So, you're not going to find the funny. You don't even know how to find funny.
Channel that anger into a way that is, because good art will always be a great weapon, will always be a perfect weapon against power. But if you're just screaming and you're just angry, you've lost your best tool in the toolbox.
So just picking up on what you said in the last question
Conan.
About Colbert Show.
Well said. Let's go ahead and see how it ends here.
When you started off your career, the path to a comedy career seemed quite set. You know, people went through the stand-up route. They would cement their positions by appearing on Johnny Carson, David Letterman, or your show. Others could strive for a spot on SNL or on sitcoms. But nowadays, when you have such a fragmented media age, and everyone has such limited attention, what would you consider to be, you know, for striving comedians, a route to a successful comedy career, other than stand-up, let's say?
Well, I'll be really honest with you. I'm 62 years old. Hold for applause. And I'm 62 years old, and it would be foolish of me to tell anyone, do it the way I did it, follow my path, because I come from a completely different universe. The world, as you said rightly, the world has changed so drastically that I honestly don't know that if someone could wave a magic wand and I was starting now in 2025 and I was 22, I don't know what I would do. And I don't know what I would become in this landscape. I do know that there are a lot of people out there doing it. Rachel Sennett is a really great comic, and she has, what's the name of her show is? I Love LA. And thank you. I think she started out making really funny videos, and she teamed up with some of her funny friends. She made a movie called Bottoms, which I saw, which was just different. It just had a different comedic sensibility. She made it with Io Idibri, and I remembered seeing it and thinking, these young women have made this very silly movie, but it has a different comedic rhythm, one that I don't know. And this was just based on them doing improv, making a ton of videos, meeting other collaborators. They got that made. She has had a real presence online, and now she has a show that's really funny about influencers trying to make it in Los Angeles. And I think it's going to be a big success. And I think, I don't know how to do it, but I know it when I see it. And I think that there's always a yin and a yang. Yes, the old ladder, the old ways are gone, but there are things that this generation has that we did not have, which is everyone right now on their person has a machine they can use to make really funny content and send it out into the world. Is there a lot of other stuff out there? Can it get lost in the noise? Yes, it can. But if you're in an orchestra with 75 instruments,
there's no gatekeepers anymore.
Besides grand pianos, cymbals crashing,
the platform
and you have
company.
A triangle, and you are dinging it, but you're dinging it really well, and you're getting a really good sound, and you ding it for a long time, eventually, the only thing people are going to hear is that triangle. That is my religion. I believe in that. I've seen it happen. I believe it. So I think anyone in this room right now, or anybody watching this video, when it's sold and I get a piece, you shouldn't laugh. That should be what it is. But anyone here has the power that no one's ever had in the history of humanity to blow past every stop sign and make something, and then make something else, and then make something else. And eventually, if you're doing something that resonates with people, someone's going to come along and say, hey, I know you're only 24 or 23 and you just got out of Oxford, but you're onto something. Would you want to write on this show that we're pitching to a streaming service? Yes, I would like to try that. Hey, you're pretty funny too, I've noticed. Would you like to?
Oh man, imagine watching a show a 20-year-old wrote. Oof. Yikes.
The neighbor. Yes, I would. It will not happen that easily, but it's a distinct possibility, and one that didn't exist at all until about 10 years ago.
So, final questions before we move on to audience question and answers. I was wondering if
and that's true. It's very recent, and you got to be able to see the writing on the wall when you're in that situation, because you got to constantly reinvent yourself if technology is cannibalizing your industry. So. Old Conan. Well, that was a nice little re-up on old Coney. Old Jeff Dye. And look old Jeff Dye. He is not gonna get it. And look how cheap this looks now. All right.
All right. Well, a remote version of the news. We're here at the Denver Comedy Works. It's me and Rudy Pavich. The acoustics are a little different because we're on stage, and this is where we're going to do a couple of shows. But we want to get our news in. It's a beautiful place. Denver's been awesome. We've been having great shows. Snowy winter wonderland out here. Sonny flew out to hang out with me, so that's always fun. Mm-hmm. We discovered Knight Rider a couple nights ago. Watched that from about midnight to 2, and that was followed by Emergency, and the night after that, The $6 Million Man.
All right, well, here we got old Adam Carolla. Going to talk about Conan calling out Trump. Yeah, I didn't know it was going to be him and another person here. So this was the AOC part here. I want to see what he has to say. Just a little headline news here. I'm just trying to get caught up on the dish.
Speed at a pile of cardboard boxes. You're not going airborne.
Yeah.
Because it was always they put a couple, but he couldn't even make one. But he watched every second of it and loved it. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we're in Denver. It's beautiful. Having a good time. Obama, for 8 years, SNL never did a sketch on the president.
Sure.
You know, and like,
All right, here we go.
boring in the comedy. The worst person to have in charge is a boring person in terms of comedy. You know, I mean, there's boring in that you know the Bushes were kind of boring and Biden was kind of boring in that he didn't do much. He didn't do many pressers or whatever. And then there's the worst, which is Obama, which is black and boring, which means you can't make fun of. You know, Obama for 8 years, SNL never did a sketch on the president,
Sure.
you know? And like when you,
Is Adam Carolla kind of like does he do race comedy? I didn't think he was a race comedy guy. Don't know much about him. I mean, besides the few things he's been in and all that, but don't really follow him. But I was curious to give him a chance. But yeah.
SNL's not poking fun at the president, and they went, well, he doesn't do anything wrong. First off, he does things that are wrong, but secondly, SNL has to poke fun at the president. It doesn't matter if it's his first day. It doesn't matter if it's the last day. It doesn't matter if he did anything wrong or not.
He seems kind of right wing then. Though I think he was probably part of the right wing radio kind of stuff. The Man Show and all that. I guess I wouldn't consider that
job is to make fun of the
politics.
president. So boring is bad. Black, I don't know. I feel like Trump's the gift that keeps giving. Like, go ahead and have fun with Trump, but don't get mired in your bitterness.
Find a way to be funny with it while also making your point instead of just making a point.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing about comedians is, the tragedy part is the comedy. I mean, the hard times, the friction, the guys you don't like. I mean, you have a guy who's in a great relationship. Like if you have a comic who's in a great and loving marriage of 9 years and can't find a flaw with his partner, well, you're not going to get a lot of comedy out of that guy on that subject. You have to have a little bit of misery baked in.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's conflict is what equals the hilarity of what the material should be.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. Now, it's weird because Conan is a guy who won't really declare things, but when people say things like this, it usually means they're a little more conservative.
Yeah, and don't want to be vocal about it.
But also, it is weird that you take Trump derangement syndrome and you take someone like.
So Adam's saying that Conan's a little bit more conservative, or is he just projecting?
Rosie O'Donnell. Now people will go, okay, well, what about your buddy Kimmel, which I just had a good exchange with because I found myself wearing this, which is the Kimmel sweat jacket on the trip, and then because it's cold, I put on the Kimmel parka. And I realized I was walking around.
Your Kimmel mucklucks?
Yeah, I was literally sponsored by Jimmy Kimmel's show. But I just sent him a picture of it when we were up at Red Rocks, and he did a long interview with somebody about me for a change, which was actually nice. I never, it's weird about me. I did a lot of interviews about it. So he did a long one on me, which is good. We had a nice back and forth. But Jimmy hates Trump. But Jimmy gets paid to hate Trump. And I'm not saying he doesn't hate Trump. I'm just saying at least he's turned his lemons into rolls of nickels. Now, someone like Rosie O'Donnell her hair just falls out while she just loses weight and goes insane quietly in Ireland. You know what I mean? Like, there is a way to channel it and actually do something with it.
Oh, we got a
resonator. And then there's a way just to be destroyed from the inside out. And there's people, like Keith Olbermann and Rosie O'Donnell, you people
channeling
do not remember a time, but I do. When Rosie O'Donnell was like pink-cheeked and fun and had a full head of black hair, and Keith Olbermann had a full head of black hair and was talking NCAA basketball and was funny and vibrant, you know what I mean? And now it's like they got AIDS. It's like literally like Trump gave them AIDS. He did. Like you look at the old Rosie, you look at the old Keith Olbermann, and you look at them now, and it's like, what happened? They look like they got AIDS.
Yeah.
Trump gave them AIDS.
Squad Representative AOC exploded.
Okay, well, now it's getting into that news tone, okay? And I'm not going to listen to the news. So, yeah, old Adam Carolla. I mean, you didn't even really address that, I suppose here. Give him one more chance.
Like 2 years ago when I said if she was fat and she's an idiot, and
So he's talking politics.
brave warriors who
Okay, so well, let's see if we can find something funny here.
I think writing with a pen, actually, and I've seen some stuff.
Oh, we got writing with. Let's see what we got.
I hope that stays. I hope that works.
Talking about.
I'm just saying, it's not a bad life.
Yeah, no, it's not bad, but you can't buy your presence. You have to be there. You have to.
I see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Since you have.
I pay the rent and stuff.
You got a great wife. Comes home from work. Would you rather?
She works at
not go
home.
into
She
this?
works at home.
Oh, she works at home.
Okay. Now this is something that all Mark Norman has to do every time. He's got to make physical contact. Okay. And it gets the guest a little bit uncomfortable. Some people will just move on off the couch and go sit on the other seat. Okay. Old Mark here likes to be close. You'll put his arm around the bench, have it folded right next to him, to the person, and just testing their limits. And then he just has this blank stare like that, like he's all MK Ultra, pretending like he didn't attempt to touch Jerry. And now Jerry is in this defensive mode, trying to block his arm, block the thing that keeps on making contact with. He wants just to constantly touch. So I mean that. Did that go through? There it is. Okay, that's a straight up psycho. Look at that. Got my own sound effects. But look at that. And then old Jerry here is trying to knock his arm away. All right. And it's going to be, all kind of back behind him having a conversation. But the whole time he is, well, let's see, because I mean this is deep into it. But I guarantee he's been trying to touch Jerry the whole day, and then Sam Morril is just here watching it all unfold. Seen him create victim after victim. He's an accessory.
He comes home or from doing this or whatever he's doing, and then he goes out to the clubs.
During the week.
And then he goes out on the weekends. They have a baby.
Oh, we had a canceled flight, Gary.
Oh, here.
During the
Oh, see, now we got another clubber here, okay? Just like Jeff Dye, 7 days a week. He's got to be out there, okay? And Jerry Seinfeld here is saying he's got a kid. He's out there. He keeps touching my leg. Oh.
Believe what this guy's got going on. His wife comes home from work. Would you rather?
She works at
not go
home.
into
She
this?
works at home.
Oh, she works at home.
Yeah.
Contact.
He comes home or from doing this or whatever he's doing, and then he goes out to the clubs.
During the week.
And then he goes out on the weekends. They have a baby.
Oh, we had a canceled flight, Gary Viter and I, this weekend, and Mark texts him, "Oh man, so extra time away from the kids." I'm like, "Yeah, no, we're not happy about it." That said so much about you.
Well, I think it's a marriage saver, that road time. You miss
It is
each other.
because you're not really designed to be married.
No.
A comedian is not. Jim Gaffigan used to say whenever he would hear about a comedian getting married, he would go, "Why?"
So how do you have to go out of your way to make it work?
I pay for a lot of help.
Yeah.
What he's got going on, I've never heard of.
Really?
Yeah,
My wife's
going
the
out
same.
during the week and doing the road on the weekends. If you don't do that every
Saw the
weekend.
Mangles.
Yeah.
He goes pretty hard.
Yeah, I know. It's so impressive, but
I enjoy it.
yeah, I know you enjoy
We're
it.
shocked she accepts it. It's cool.
Well, I'm there all day, and then, except for today, and then I do sets at night, and then I pay the rent and stuff.
You got a great wife.
I got a great wife.
But for a comedian who is, you got.
What?
Except for today, and then I do sets at night, and then I pay the rent and stuff.
You got a great wife.
I got a great wife.
But for a comedian who.
Oh, man. Getting just stopped by old Seinfeld.
You got a great wife.
I got a great wife.
But for a comedian.
Oh, yeah, I'll just volley it to you. Yeah, sorry, I was speaking over you, clearly. Oh, man. Just that easy, just.
Who is not, I do a line about, I never thought I could get married. The stage that you're looking at the number of people I feel comfortable working with.
Right.
And so marriage is, I think, it's not really what we're cut out for because you've created this solitary world.
Yes.
And survived. Talk about indulgent.
Right.
You're making a living with your whims and your notions and nothing.
Notions. Yeah, that's true.
So that's not normal.
Yeah.
That's not normal.
But
that's
can't-
the other thing that's really funny at the end of this Sebastian show. A lot of comics do is he comes off and the wife and kids are there.
Yes.
As if he's just a regular guy. Just a regular family guy.
Yeah.
Dazzling 19,000 people for an hour and a half.
Yeah. But when your wife sees the home and the PJ and the 38 cars, they go, I go out a lot, but look at this.
I hope that stays. I hope that's
38 cars.
I'm just saying, it's not a bad life.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Okay, so this. Oh, they're having a little intervention here. Oh. No, Samaril set this up. No, I don't think he even has that kind of. He doesn't have a carrying bone in his body. Okay, this is. But I mean that. He realizes what's happening right now. And he's like, you're having me justify what I'm doing. And, yeah, from the outside, they're wondering, what's happening? Okay, let's hear him explain himself.
That's not normal.
But
that's
can't-
the other thing that's really funny at the end of this Sebastian show. A lot of comics do is he comes off and the wife and kids are there.
Yes.
As if he's just a regular guy. Just a regular family guy.
Yeah.
Dazzling 19,000 people for an hour and a half.
Yeah. But when your wife sees the home and the PJ and the 38 cars, they go, I go out a lot, but look at this.
I hope that.
Oh. See, it's almost like he
38 cars,
like he
they go,
knows you.
I go out a lot, but look at this.
I hope that stays.
see that eyebrow raise was even before he.
Cars, they go, I go out a lot, but look at this.
I hope that stays. I hope that works.
I'm just saying, it's not a bad life.
Yeah, no, it's not bad, but you can't buy your presence. You have to be there. You have to.
I see.
Yeah.
Your presence is important.
I hope she never sees this. She's a great egg.
Yeah.
She gets it.
All right.
Does your wife give you shit for doing the road?
No, she loves it now, but when the
He's-
kids were
he's trying-
little,
he's trying to
it was
touch.
tougher on her.
Yeah.
Look, he's trying to
It's
touch.
really tough.
You need, in this life, it seems like you need a woman who can, yeah.
Let's see here.
She's a great life.
Yeah, no, it's not bad, but you can't buy your presence. You have to be there. You have to.
I see.
Yeah.
Your
See, they're-
presence is.
They're doing a little intervention for old Marky here. Wow. He's gonna snap someday. Just snap. I mean, that's all this is right here. He is thinking about what he's going to do to Jerry. He is, no, he is. He's like, it's all going to crash down. Now, yeah, just and what else is Jerry talking about? I mean, I guarantee you his schedule when he was on his show was insane. So he was too busy dating 13-year-old girls. Okay. So who are you to say anything about his presence? He's trying to provide for his family. Okay, he's said that several times. And so Jerry Prize. Jerry just prize and prize. And because I mean that's like that's mentor manipulation right there. He likes to see that old Marky is all affected by what he just said. And he knows that he's Mark's mentor. So he's going to mentor manipulate.
I hope she never sees this. She's a great egg.
Yeah.
She gets it.
All right.
Does your wife give you shit for doing the road?
No, she loves it now. But when the kids were little, it was tougher on her.
Yeah.
It was really tough.
You need, in this life, it seems like you need a woman who can deal with a lot.
You really got to lay it out before you get married. So a stupid thing, but nobody talked about where do you want to live. Mm-hmm. Talk about that. Do you want to have kids? How many? What religion?
Yeah.
You know,
I'm putting it out there sooner and sooner in these.
Really?
That's what I did,
Oh yeah,
too.
I'm like, just so you know, I'm dying on this island or a hotel room.
really.
It's out there.
That's really good. I
Yeah.
never thought of that. And I never had that problem, but
Yeah.
I could never leave this island either.
Yeah.
Epstein said the same thing.
Oh, Kill Tony lost another good Kill Tony line. Where are the shades? Can I get Mark Shades in here, please?
Well, yeah, but, I never thought I'd move to Brooklyn, but you make compromises.
Okay, why is Jerry Seinfeld saying kill Tony stuff? Oh, boy. He does not want to be here.
Island too.
That's true. That's true.
I can't believe you left Manhattan too. It's
I know.
crazy.
Wasn't he? But I got a nice spot. I got
It's cool.
I got a
It's
brownstone.
Great spot.
Can't complain. Again, a compromise. I'm compromising. But maybe I'll take some weekdays off.
Yeah, you got. I can't believe you don't.
Starting to get feeling guilty. But that's how I work the new out. I got to work the new stuff.
Yeah. We're all doing the same thing.
Oh, see, no, Jerry's jealous. And he's trying to slow Mark down. I mean, imagine telling Jerry when he was doing his show, "Oh, you're doing too much. Okay, you need to focus on your family." I'm in the #1 show in the country. Okay, there's thousands, millions of people that are counting on me. You can heat up the bottle yourself. So he went that route, and he regrets it. Said it was difficult. But he's assuring Jerry that they got it under control. So
is every day like? How much time do you think you spend if you write? Is it at a desk? Are you taking walks?
I can write absolutely anywhere.
Yeah.
I could sit down on this floor, give me a pad and a pen, and say, "I think there's something funny about these Toto toilets." And I'll just start noodling. I'll get a coffee. I think coffee is part of my system now.
Sure.
Add coffee to a pen. I think writing with a pen, actually, and I've seen some studies, it does something to your brain that this doesn't do.
Yeah.
Definitely memorize.
And of course, exercise does something to your brain.
Yeah. I'm all pen. I'm with you.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at
oh
that.
god, here we go.
I got the same.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, but he's taking Mark's bit. See, this is Mark's thing. And he's trying to show his old mentor that he too is a writer. And he's got to keep him on him. And he makes a big old bulge in the back of his pants. And he'll develop back issues for his art. But now, Sam Morril is becoming a...
Type nothing down, which
There
does
were
hurt you.
very, very few comics in my early days that had these things.
Really?
Very, very
I don't know
few.
how you
I was
would.
like the only one.
I wrote down everything.
Very few. What? I didn't know that. What? What? You did this? This thing that I only started developing after I studied everything about you, Jerry Seinfeld? What? Are you serious? I thought I came up with this. You mean you did this too? What? What?
I don't.
Yeah.
Now I'm selective, but back in the day, I wrote every dumb thought
Same.
because you're like, it
You never
could
know.
be something.
Could be something.
The blessing of my career is about 6 months in, I was watching some guy go on TV and get worse and worse, and eventually he was finished. And I went, oh, this is really hard.
Because he didn't have the material.
He didn't have material. And I realized, oh, this is really hard. And this whole game is material.
Yes.
That is crazy to get those opportunities and
But
not have.
so from 6 months in, I said, okay, I need some sort of ritual here
Yeah.
to produce this stuff.
Oh.
You do get stuff comes to you, but you need more.
You need more.
Who were your friends early on who were really pushing you?
Okay, because Jerry Seinfeld, was then hooked up with that one writer too, who was also in was it Religulous with Bill Maher, the guy, the old cloak and dagger guy, the bearded man with he was in the documentary too, as someone who was kind of filming it, producing it, and he was a writer at Seinfeld. And there's a lot those early years. You go back in those early years, and there's a lot of magic in that stuff, and that's magic with a K. And I believe that he was definitely involved in it, because some of those early ones, they were trying to figure out what their shtick was, and they wanted to have all these things intertwined into the plot line, and then kind of these coincidental moments then kind of all coalesce at the end. But that, I don't know, there's some kind of little different energy in that, yeah. So he's all talking about finding rituals to be writing. Oh, I never do any rituals.
Nobody pushed anybody.
But I mean, if you just saw someone.
Leno. It was always Leno.
Wow.
Leno had the best stuff. He would just destroy, and you would just think, oh, I just want to get that good. And he would get a gig in Atlantic City, and you go, wow, Atlantic City.
Yeah.
Imagine getting a gig in Atlantic City.
And he's so damn confident. It's crazy. Like he would go on Letterman with a hoagie, and just eat it there. And I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. It's so, again, it's the guy. There was just a few.
It was like, you
Like he would go.
Imagine getting a gig in Atlantic City.
And he's so damn confident.
Like Mark reverted to his 10-year-old self right here. But I mean, that looks like he's about to strike Jerry. Like, yeah, something was very off when he's like so confident.
Great. Like he would go on Letterman with a hoagie, and just eat it there. And I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. It's so, again, it's the guy. There was just a few guys that loved it.
Yes.
I mean, nobody thought after the TV series, you're going to go back to the clubs.
Exactly.
I mean, I had on-air commitments from NBC for any other show I wanted to make, movies.
Well, okay. I don't know if this was really all I was expecting, but old Jerry Seinfeld trying to show these young folks the ropes. Yeah. What you doing comedy for? Being successful. Why don't you go back home and be there so that I can get the shows that. So, a lot of jealousy. Oh, Stavros. Oh, that's right. We had a little. Get rid of that here. A little Eddie Bravo here. Yeah, not a huge Eddie Bravo fan, but I thought he might say something like along the lines of, "Oh, Alex Jones," but yeah, Alex Jones is come and gone. He's now a new man. But let's see here, we got a good old Doom clip. Let me jump in a little bird here.
That's what they did?
Profiling software.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They caught him based off his eyebrows, and I'm not comfortable with that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's getting a little dystopian out here, right?
yeah, a little bit. I mean, I guess it's not as bad as 1978 with in the Brooke Shields household.
All right, we got Pooh Shiesty or Kurt Metzger in here. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, Kurt. That's right, Kurt Metzger. Thank you.
Free Shiesty, by the way. He's out. I don't know if you heard that.
Pooh Shiesty's out.
He's out
But
now.
nobody listens to him no more.
Listen, I'm pretty sure he was
He
innocent
has to
when he
do
went
new
in.
murders if he wants me to listen.
I don't think he murdered nobody.
Well, then I'll never listen to him again.
He's got the Christoph Waltz pipe here as well, the Hans Landa pipe.
There's nothing goes good with better with a nice shiesty than a Hans Landa pipe. That's a fact.
I don't know where this is going to go today, but I just want to make it clear this is your bus and you're driving, so we'll go where you want. But
Yeah, bro, that's
you
what-
just airdropped Deef something before we got on air here, and I walked back in from the bathroom. What the am I looking at? We got it, Deef?
Oh yeah, Brooke Shields.
So this is no, this isn't just Brooke. This is Brooke Shields when she was 13,
12 is I believe.
12 even. A kid.
12 even. You're
And
like
this is-
Snagglepuss.
This is a 1978 article.
Yeah, wait, but okay, I want to give you this one though, dude. This is the
You
one.
got another one.
I think it's a good one to go here. Sorry.
Is this New York Magazine?
No, the one that I was just trying to send was New York Magazine. So,
What is this one? Which
Heave just found this just now.
Oh, Deef, you just found this.
Can you take an airdrop?
Culture Magazine. Here, give me your phone. I'll give it to Deef. From Culture Magazine, 1978. It literally says in there, it says it's a 13-year-old Brooke Shields. And in the byline,
Yeah.
right below a picture of her and Woody Allen, which you can't fucking make that
is
shit
that
up.
Woody Allen?
That's
I
Woody
didn't
Allen.
notice, yeah.
It says Brooke Shields is a sultry mix of all-American virgin and whore.
Well, I mean, I think
Wow.
New York Magazine. It's not New York Magazine, is it?
Whoever
Well,
it is, this is
you
a
tell
real
me.
magazine.
You look at her next to Woody Allen, and you tell me she's not a sultry virgin whore.
Jesus Christ, bro, this is starting dark.
It was the 70s, man.
Oh yeah, the 70s where
People
it
were
was
dolphins and shit. Okay.
oh, there were dolphins in the 70s.
All right, so now he's doing the dolphin thing again. Yeah. This was 2 months ago. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why he keeps bringing up the dolphins because it's there's other things that are out there, but he's latched onto that one.
I would say that's probably a peak.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm
Well,
more
peak-
worried about a dolphin trying to f a human. Those, you ever seen those things?
Okay, I know that that's it's a common myth that it's like it's mostly dolphin on human, but it's not. That's a lie.
You think humans are out f***ing dolphins?
I mean, they've written books about it. Well, look,
Actually,
pace
yes.
yourself before we get into it. Wet Goddess, remember Wet Goddess?
Who is?
How'd you remember?
What's that guy's name again?
Who? I'm not even talking about him. You're talking about John.
There is a dude who actually.
Yeah, and Peter the Dolphin, but okay, look, this is what. So this is from my friend Andy Hunt's your Control All History channel. So he has all this stuff that's all from like the 70s and 50s and 60s that you kind of knew but you didn't really know about. And I don't know if he has a huge Hustler collection from back in the day, but it's all stuff. So much stuff is like reported in Hustler by Larry Flint in the fuck. It's wild, okay? And so he's got great videos on there, dude. And so the one he has some good like weird celebrity background things. And this is one of them. Because I would say, so look at this. This is from New York Magazine. Let's see.
Brooke Shields, again, now age 12 instead of 13. It says, meet Terry and Brooke Shields. Brooke is 12. She poses nude. Terry is her mother. She thinks it's swell. Prison.
What? No.
Prison.
And if you watch Brooke Shields I've seen video like clips of like her own like podcast, I think, where it's her daughter and the kid, and she's trying to explain it to the kids, and like like her own.
She was or
mother. She thinks it's Terry and Brooke Shields.
Brooke posed a nude at 12? What? And her parents are all behind it. Whoa.
Is 12. She poses nude. Terry is her mother.
Whoa.
She thinks it's swell. Prison.
What? No.
Prison.
And if you watch Brooke Shields I've seen video like clips of like her own like podcast, I think, where it's her daughter and the kid, and she's trying to explain it to the kids, and like it's almost like she's not aware how fucked up it is.
It's because she's desensitized to it.
Yeah,
She's so young, and this is like her normal.
Okay,
I mean, she was like a child. Like,
yo, who could wear this long?
I was wondering how long it was going to take.
I'm too sweaty of a guy.
It's too much. But
oh my god, that was uncomfortable. Who would wear that?
I don't listen. The rappers like it, and people that want to kidnap you like it, Kurt. It's useful. It hides your identity.
Yeah, the COVID mask. There's two kinds of people that still wear COVID masks. Crazy people and criminals.
That's pretty much it.
People trying to beat facial recognition, which I'm not comfortable with. I'm not comfortable how they caught that kid, the Mangione kid with a eyebrow.
That's what they did?
Profiling software.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They caught him based off his eyebrows, and I'm not comfortable with that. Anyway,
Yeah, it's getting a little dystopian out here, right?
yeah, a little bit. I mean, I guess it's not as bad as 1978 in the Brooke Shields household.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so this is like an early Kardashian mom, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, that goes back a long way to like Judy Garland, where your mom pimps you out to the studio.
Absolutely crazy, man. It's just like,
if you take your kids to auditions, just you trafficked your children.
yeah, honestly,
Why would you ever do that?
When you see it now, there's so much evidence out there that like if you're taking your kid to do this in Hollywood or whatever, it's kind of your fault at this point. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I would say a parent putting you in that deliberately. There's some kind of crazy like Munchausen leaving my kid out to, if you watch the Michael Jackson 8-hour documentary. With
I didn't watch that.
Oh my God!
How was that?
I only saw part one because you get the gist of it in part one. Put it that way. And the mom, as soon as you see the guy's mom, you're like, oh, this happened. The mom's like, what? She doesn't even know what the problem is. Like, they go to a hotel. I'd stay down the hall, and they would Tim Waltz it in the motherfucking
my
room.
God.
No, I don't know if you noticed like the great Disney system of kids that were.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, I had forgotten about Brooke Shields, but I remember when I was young. What do you remember, Todd? That she was a virgin. Do you remember that? No. She was a big virgin. That was a big thing. She was a virgin. When I was young, I'd see her on TV. I remember it was the 80s and making a big deal about it. So
When she was like 20 or something like that.
yeah,
Early
and so I don't even remember, but it's weird. So this is why I didn't know about this because
This is insane.
like I remember her but Britney Spears, same deal. They're like,
This is wild.
still do you ever go back and look how it's exactly as weird as South Park?
Oh, yeah. South Park
Like
is
they're
just
like, are
a
you a
documentary.
virgin? Do you still have your chair? It's like
Right.
you're in like a Chinese dynasty movie.
Yeah.
Where they gotta like check your vagina with a robin's egg to make sure you're like some crazy like and at the time I don't know that South Park summed it up. And I don't think they were like, keyed into some esoteric thing. I think it's just a thing you could notice if you're trying to be funny about it. But this is probably one of the earliest examples of it.
Yeah. I think South Park's just, Trey Stone and Matt Parker. Or is it Matt Parker and I always forget. Trey Stone and Matt Parker or Matt Parker and Trey Stone? Do I have the names?
Matt
Am I
Trasker, I
dyslexic?
believe his name is Matt
Right.
Trasker.
Either way, the two of them, they took things that were always exaggerations, but they documented literally as stuff was happening. So, like, since the beginning, it's been something's in
The
the
one
news.
guy eats Big Macs and jams it out in a week. That's how they should have a documentary about it. And his boy from back in the day gets him going, which is like a valuable thing if you got somebody to get you going the right way.
Yeah.
So I mean, the documentary is pretty funny. I don't know why they made it like Bill Hader's an intimate member from of the writing team. Do you remember? You ever see the South Park documentary?
But I don't think I have.
Yeah. The South Park documentary, they had for whatever reason, Bill Hader was in the room, and he was like trying to. I don't know. I think they showed him like maybe kind of saying a couple ideas or something, or something like that at the table, but he was featured a lot in there, like he was part of the writing team, but I don't think he was, but he was there for whatever reason.
Oh yeah,
I've seen like clips of that on social, but I've never sat down and watched it. What was Bill Hader's involvement?
I don't know to this day. I think he was guest. It was like the fish
Yeah.
dicks thing.
Oh, got it.
Maybe that.
Oh, he was on the episode. Okay, so he was probably doing a voice for one of the episodes, and
I didn't
have
understand
seen
it.
videos of them like recording it, and they're just pissing themselves the whole time, like trying not to laugh, but they're actually like getting it out.
And
It's
then-
hilarious.
And then they had. I'm not getting goddamn Paramount to watch all the new ones when they come out, dude. I got too many streamings.
Yeah, I can't keep track of them now.
Balls to even think that I should have to do that. Well, can I buy the episode? No, you need a membership to our whole catalog.
Right. At some point here, like there has to be some sort of giant sucking sound, and a bunch of these things just fall off the face because the streaming wars. You don't even know. Someone's like, "Oh, have you seen this show?" I'm like, "Which network?" And then you got to go buy it for $25 a month. I'm like, I'm never gonna see that.
Yeah, they need to unite the networks into one country, the way our TV networks are.
Yeah. Now, do you think guys like Woody Allen, who is because obviously like he was in the picture on that first article we were looking at,
With that sultry virgin whore. Put it back on what it said. Why I gotta get the wording right?
I can't even believe that's real.
Okay,
You're
just
writing
watching a
this about
kid group. Dude, if you look at Shirley Temple back in the day, she was in a thing called
it.
Baby
It's
Burlesque.
so weird, bro.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of shit where, looking back now, I remember I wrote this as a joke into somebody's thing. Might have been Jim Norton. Anyway, I had a girlfriend that was like millennial, and so I'm 48. Okay, I'm finally old enough to serve in Ukraine. So thank you for having me on. Before I go. But I was dating a girl, millennial, who had not watched all the 80s movies that you would just see if you're Gen X, right?
Right.
So we're watching Revenge of the Nerds. She's like genuinely horrified by Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
You remember that jocks like didn't like this nurse because the one nerd, his girlfriend in a fun house.
And it's just right there in the script. No
Oh, and
problem.
also revenge porned her
Normalized.
at a pie, but also installed spy cameras like the NSA.
Not just
Like,
the NSA.
Dude, Revenge of the Nerds is like a metaphor for MK Monarch, I feel like.
The Monarch thing. You sent me like 47 loop.
Oh, yeah.
texts
Who's
on
that guy you had
before.
on? Who is that absolute tip that goes, and people saying these presidents did these things and they didn't? Oh, well, that satisfies me, young fella. Oh, that sounds like, I guess
I don't
that
even know who
case
you're talking
closed.
about. I don't even know who you're talking about.
I just watched a clip of it. Yo, I would read Transformation of America, that Kathy O'Brien book.
Transformation of it. Can we pull
of
that
America? Yeah. I wish I started with that in my UFO. I wish I started with that book. You know why? Because once you hear that, you realize the whole thing's laid out in there pretty well.
Thank you guys for checking out this clip. If you haven't already subscribed, please full podcast.
All right. Well, yeah, I got dark pretty fast. Wow. I thought it was just gonna be a little Hollywood gossip. But moving right along, we got Joe McHale lounging. Okay, this is him being chill, being cool. I think this is another 6'5"er. Okay, he's got to show his length, like old Matt McCustard. I absolutely hate this. I hate everything about this. And I don't like this guy. And you're right there with him. Okay. Because this guy just is stuck in the past. He's stuck in Smallville. So he used to play Lex Luthor in Smallville in the WB 20 years ago or so. And they are showing off their new shoes. It's a bit unhinged there.
Funnier, Caddyshack or Vacation?
Caddyshack.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I mean, Vacation's very funny, but Caddyshack, you've got all these heavy hitters at once operating together.
Did you ever ask Chevy for an autograph?
Nope.
Do you know what? I had never seen that side that everybody saw until I went to do a signing, and Beverly D'Angelo is a good friend of mine.
Oh.
And she goes, "Hey, let's go take a picture with Chevy." And it was like behind the scenes or whatever. And he was just sitting there and it's like, "Hey, this is Michael. You remember him? Blah, blah. You met him a few times. He's a friend of mine. We're gonna let's take a picture." And I was like, "We don't have to take a picture." I was like, "Let's take a picture." And so we take a picture, and I go, "Hey, it's okay. I'm very forgettable." And he goes, "Don't talk in my face." And I go, I went like this. I go, "Are you kidding me?" And Beverly goes, "Shh, don't."
Jeez. So you saw the good side of him.
Jeez. Did you see some nastiness?
Oh my, yes.
Like the worst of the worst?
Fuck, yeah.
Like me, I'm not fucking doing this.
There's a chapter in the book that I wrote about fighting him, on how to fight him.
I have to read this book.
Yes, we have a fold out.
What is the book?
Thanks for the Money.
Thanks for the Money.
Yes.
And you have
We step by step on how to fight Chevy Chase.
Fist fight or verbal?
Fist.
Did you fight fists?
Multiple times.
You fought him.
I mean, we there was pushing and shoving. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It was. You
would have killed him though.
It was advanced horseplay. Horseplay.
Was it fun?
And then it always turned into sex.
But it wasn't fun.
It wasn't fun
at all. Like it was like your adrenaline was going. Like I'm gonna hit this older guy.
It would get a little contentious. Yeah, it would get to this point
Chevy
where
Chase.
I'm like, okay.
Would the producers just like jump in?
I'd get. Well, I got in trouble one time because I injured him. Yeah, I've dislocated his shoulder.
I'm reading this book immediately.
Yeah, no, and the funny thing, like I've brought, like people like, there's an entire chapter about him in the book. Yeah.
Did he ever respond to you about it?
No.
Think he ever read it?
Nope. I don't think so.
Do you think he knows that he could be an asshole?
I would assume so. I would think so. Yeah. No, the guy is. Yeah. I mean, he just did Mark Maron's podcast, and it made all these headlines because he was like, I didn't find the show funny and didn't want to be there. And then my response was, yeah, well, feelings mutual about your attitude, and you didn't have to be there. Don't like.
Yeah, you're right. That Julian and Kurt had good chemistry. Yep, they did. And yeah, Julian's a laugher, so Kurt loves a laugher. But this guy's never made a single person laugh in his life. Okay, no one watched Community because of you.
He was like, I didn't want to be right.
Oops, sorry. Sorry about that. No one watched it because of you. Okay.
The table with those people, and then, like Gillian even said, it was like feelings mutual. And it's like,
Yeah.
you didn't, this was not, I was like, this was not a prison sentence.
No.
You didn't, we were not conscripted into a war. You were being paid a lot of money and getting free food all day long. So
Yes.
you could just walk away. And he, and I was like, so what?
Was he at least nice in the beginning?
When I first met him, I was like, hi, I'm Joel. And he's like, mm-hmm. Like, you know who I am.
Jeez, good start. Good fucking start.
Yeah, no, I mean, then there'd be days it was good, but it was always.
Get me out of here. Why don't we shoot now? What's taking so long? Fuck, these lines suck.
Oh, yeah, I was like, these aren't funny enough for me to memorize. That was, yeah.
They had to feed him lines, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a whole thing.
This has been awesome.
Thank you for having me.
It's so fun. By the way, if you could.
That was a quick little clip there, and he decided not to sprawl his feet across the gentleman's board. Okay, he took the relax thing literally, and now he's folded, and he's a very odd shape. This man is. His shoulders don't really match his body. He's got weird estrogen breasts. The mustache doesn't quite seem to work. The hair is just hair plugs. And he just wants to hang on to the old youth department, I guess. I don't know. But you ain't ever going to be cool. Okay? He thinks he's cool. He ain't. Yep, and this guy is hanging on to the years that he peaked in high school. Yeah, I couldn't imagine why Chevy didn't like you. Okay, putting your feet up on it and like right next to the board where you can just bump everything. Oh, Joe McHale.
That's what they did?
Profiling software.
On your Caddyshack.
Okay. It'd be a little Stavros time.
Hell yeah, nice to be here in a very hilarious country. I mean, it is whimsical as fuck, honestly, it really is.
So here we are. We got a comic doing stand-up comedy. Okay, this is a rare thing to see. You don't get to see a comic doing comedy very often. They always love talking about it. They love sitting and talking about how cool comedy is. I rarely see them do it. And not because it's back behind a paywall of theater tickets. It's because it's not funny. So for me, this is an old medium of communication. You had theater, and then you had the film industry, and the film industry adapted a lot of the theater techniques into the film industry, because that was what it kind of branched out of, and then it created its own sense of a medium, and old stand-up comedy here is on its way out. Okay. People used to gather and, well, I was going to say people used to gather and watch, bands, like a bunch of people on stage doing stuff, and now it's just one person doing mediocre stuff. And people, they're still seeing music, going to festivals and then concerts. But even then, seeing musicians on stage playing just seems a little odd. There's just something a bit outdated by it. Yeah. It's it seems a bit embarrassing. But they're still caught in that old mechanism. And Conan was talking about he likes those people that step out and create, a little outside of their given program. Well, he was saying that there really isn't anything for people to just walk into anymore. That that industry's pretty much collapsed. So people are doing podcasts now and things like that. And so stand-up, in my opinion, is this old version of getting ideas out, being funny. So so we'll see what happens with it.
It feels fake as shit, you know what I mean? What's up with not being able to jack off here, though, anymore? What's that about? Because I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm not very a political person, but this has me up in arms right now. I have to fucking scan my face to jack off? What the hell is this? This is why we fucking left and made America, I'm pretty sure. This is pretty much... This is the first time I would have sailed on a fucking boat. You're like, I can't beat off in my own home. Fire up the Mayflower. I'm gonna figure some shit out. This must be an issue, right? You guys...
So, comics love to fantasize about the things that they wish they could do. So, he ain't doing any of that kind of stuff. He couldn't reach it if he tried, okay? You're a big old fat tard. You could barely wipe your own ass, okay? So he's doing a little crude humor. There's a little niche. And yeah. Looking a little crazy in the eye there. A little crazy in the eye. Little Stavros. So I've got a couple more here. Here's the other sound effect. I'll use this when something shocking happens. Like, oh wait, no, here. See, I'm not quite set up to do it on cue yet, but like, oh, that sucked. Something like that. Like, I'm still working on the. I'm still trying to select the good one, and then here's another one here. This one's a bit much, but that's too much. I will never use that one, but this one seems to. Oh, those ass. So old Stavi here, getting into his niche comedy, but he wishes he could do all that, but he can't because he's a big guy.
My crowd, I know that's a big deal for a lot of you guys. What's that? Get a VPN. All right, my man's scooting on the neck. He's in the future jacking off. He's retrofitted a motorcycle helmet that's just a 360 view of pornography. He's in a zero gravity chair, just beating off. He's changed his Siri to Jarvis. He's just like, Jarvis, show me fat-titted Puerto Ricans. Log in like we're in fucking Iceland or something. Nice, so you VPN'd up. Does anybody actually scan their face, or is that a scam? It's true, you have to do that shit? To beat off, you have to be like... That's fucking nuts, dude. Government overreach, dude. What the fuck? That's what happens when you have a fucking king you have to bow to. Did he have to scan his face to beat off? That's... Or do you think some guy brings him fucking pornography? The royal iPad to jack off, sir.
And look at that. Look at that head. Are you that funny that you can do all this looking like that? Only devils wear white. trying to appear to be clean. But white's dirty.
The royal iPad to jack off, sir.
So he's laughing at himself with his niche comedy. And he's looking like old Colonel Sanders. Big old colonialist here.
This fucking silver thing. It's really
All right.
It's probably there's a royal beat-off device. I just
All right.
jack off.
So we're
Now, you know what I mean? He's never.
So we kind of know what he's about here. Wow. So
That's you should believe in conspiracy theories here because there's a fucking queen. You know.
there you go.
It's funny to think of they made James Bond basically like the real James Bond had to kill Princess Diana. That's who did it.
Okay. So he's he is saying some stuff here. Okay, that's a lot of what Control at Histories, the Gemstones files talks about, and about who's Aristotle and Nasus, and how he, you know, probably trying to get Jackie Kennedy. They were in a boat together. They're all this crazy, whole bunch of crazy stuff. So, telling a little conspiracy truth here.
You know how like they've been trying to recast James Bond? That's the only time they'll let it be a black James Bond. They'll finally cast.
Oh, but with the James Bond thing, that's the one of the Bond villains was taken from this Onassis, Aristotle Onassis, I believe it was him, or maybe one other, maybe his partner or something like that. And that's where they came up with the whole Bond series and everything. I think it was somebody that was in the inner circle there, ended up basically just writing about it through the James Bond series.
Elba, and they'll be like, all right, the story. Here's the story, Idris. 007, your mission. We have some Xanax. You're going to put it in the limousine driver's drink. And here's a camera with a very bright flashbulb 007. That would be funny. I would watch that movie.
So
it's like, really?
So this is a comic doing comedy. So this is stand-up comedy. Now, I would rather watch YouTube videos. Like, what's so special about him that people have to gather to see his point of view? So it's, these podcasts are indoctrinating our children, thinking that these podcasters can be on stage too and do all their comedy. Well, I think stand-up is dead. Stand-up is dead. You burn through all your material on your podcast. You're not really saying anything new or special. I mean, it's nice to see you standing and not having your legs spread out everywhere and your body hanging off the crushed couch. Okay. But trying to find that funny. You sure do like to laugh at your own stuff though. So maybe you're just fooling people to make them believe that you're funny. Just like old Jeff died right out of the gate telling Jamie Kennedy, "Man, I love you." Like old Jelly Roll. "I love you, brother." You know, you can't criticize someone you love.
Have to, maybe kill like a terrorist. No. This will do just fine. Anyway, all right, that's pretty much all the England stuff. That's all.
Another thing I find hilarious, it's a very whimsical country, I will say that.
Okay, so this is a compilation. A little bit of a compilation. All fairly, this is his 2005 tour.
Been doing a lot more frolicking since I've been in the UK. Even like your word for pedophile, why is it not? Why is that?
The UK files here.
That's a cute word. That's too cute a word for.
Okay, so he's talking about jacking off and pedophiles, and yeah, he's giving off that vibe along with that other the other guy who did all the porn star. What's his name? Not Rick Ross, but some other guy too. They all look the same like that. So there's a little backdrop. Got the YouTube appeal with that color. All right, well, El Stavi, not impressed. Not impressed.
What's funnier, Caddyshack or Vacation?
Sorry.
Caddyshack.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, Joel, God, you suck. So, well, yeah, I'm trying to look for something a little bit funny, but a little hard pressed to. And again, this is why why I'm saying Kyle Dunnigan, Kyle Dunnigan might be the king of comedy here, because none of these people are making you laugh. They're all just talking about drama, talking about news. I mean, Mersh, he'll make you laugh, but none of these professionals. But Conan did. Oh man, and the Whitney coverage is just so. I mean, her crash out's great. But yeah, everyone's covered it. See if we can get a little redacted here.
Weaponize it against me, and they're going to clip this out, and Bert Kreischer crashes out, and
I really hope they don't.
And he's mentally broken, and whatever they're going to say,
No.
you're like, okay, but I guess I hope it helps somebody.
People doing podcasts about how I would use robots to make my podcast metrics. I'm going to look you in the
Okay, she's a real big breather too. She like has this nasal thing where she's got to breathe in really like her there's construction going on, and like she was too busy running around trying to chase giraffes during the wildfires, and so it messed up her nose. But she
whatever they're gonna say, you're like, okay, but I guess I hope it helps somebody.
People doing podcasts about how I would use robots to make my podcast metrics. I'm going to look you in the face right now. And yes, I'm sitting on a booster seat. Thank you. Thank you for doing this. You guys being this obsessed with me, honestly, has boosted my self-esteem.
All of the negative Reddit commenters, like, you guys need to go outside.
Touch grass, babes.
Yeah.
I look at those guys and I'm always just guys, girls, whoever. Like, I mean, I go on Reddit, but like,
they're non-binary, all of them.
All right, so it looks like some of the most widely hated comedians of our generation have finally opened up their comment sections. And after seeing that 90% of the comments were negative, they of course are extremely butthurt about it. So now they're struggling to cope with the fact that the internet probably isn't wrong about them. Because it's one thing to have a few hate comments floating around here and there, but when nearly every single comment is nasty like theirs, it's truly a bad sign, as it's actually a reflection of who they are as people. But of course, instead of realizing that these comments are just a result of
people just want to look like each other so much. Like what is that? I mean, that was wild.
They're insufferable.
Oh. And what's so gross about it is that he wants to, like, now this might be maybe for something else, you know, they're trying to dress up like that, but he is obviously noticing it, and he likes it. He wants that bond with him, and he's just a big old psycho, man. That guy, he's got them Nick Reiner eyes right there. So, you know, you don't see that with Kreischer. He's I mean, say what you want about Kreischer, but Segura's the one that that's not the good. That's someone you want to stay far away from. Okay. You can tell in him, you know, or tell with him, he's he's got normal eyes. He just gets a bit caught up in his own thing. But this right here is methodical. He's been abused in the past. Okay. And he's, you know, probably lashed out several times. So those are straight up Nick Reiner eyes. And you don't see that here. They're just, those lids are closed, normal. Okay. You don't see the big white here on the bottom. Okay, that means you've been abused and you seek to inflict, or that you could inflict harm on others, like that. And then the other way with the white on the top is you are absolutely crazy and you want to control the situation, and through controlling a person. So you want to control that. And that this is that's not good.
People. But of course, instead of realizing that these comments are just a result of their insufferable ways, the out-of-touch millionaire comedians have rather come to the conclusion that all the people who leave nasty comments are just lonely, unemployed losers living in their mom's basements, which is by far the most basic, unoriginal clapback to criticism on planet Earth.
But here's the point. Here's the point. I never leave comments, Tommy. I never leave comments.
Okay.
Negative comments, I just don't do it.
It's a place to go.
If you're a dude and probably not in great shape, right? Dandruff, black shirt, shows up everywhere.
Not thriving.
Not thriving. I guess what they'd say is like I don't want to say incel, but like a lonely dude.
It's loneliness.
A lonely dude who's just like living in online and having that be your expression. And
so just from a comedic standpoint, they should be completely ashamed.
Yes, because having an arena life is so much better. You should want to only express yourself through arenas and through this.
Saying that clapback out loud, as it's on par with a your mom joke. But more importantly, it's the very reason why they get flooded with mean comments under anything they do online. Because they're completely unaware of what makes them so unbearable. Bert Kreischer, for example, just spent the entire past week gooning on his VR headset while alone in his house. And oddly enough, the only thing he took away from that entire humiliating experience was that all his haters must be doing that exact same thing every single day.
1 week alone with Oculus, and I thought, I'm going to light some bitches up online.
Light them up?
It's loneliness. It's loneliness, not being attached to a real world.
See, you hear Segura light him up? You sure you want to use the reference of murder? Because that's my reference. You're using my reference, Bert Kreischer? No, it's not my reference. I'm speaking as if I'm Tom Segura here, okay? But if you're hanging out with friends and all of a sudden they used one of your references, you're like, well, okay. So but yeah, Segura knows what that means.
Yeah, it's loneliness. Bitches up online.
Light them up?
Hey.
1 week alone with Oculus, and I thought, I'm going to light some bitches up online.
Light them up?
It's...
See, you light them up? Hey.
It's loneliness. It's loneliness, not being attached to a real world.
Yeah, and you know what else it is, dude? It's that you have a place to put it now. Yeah.
And I really, I don't mean this I'm not trying to be deep, but I really, at the end of that week, I understood those dudes who leave negative comments, because I was like, yeah, I get it. I get it. You didn't have something, you're not going to get noticed if you say something nice.
You're right. You're right.
You're not going to get noticed if you're like, dude, your special was great.
Honestly, Bert Kreischer's biggest offense is that he's actually just a real-life bozo. And this is a great example of that. Because instead of seeing that his comments are mostly just people that have grown tired of his shirtless routine on stage, or his narcissistic ability to make any and every conversation about himself, he of course easily deflects all the critique and claims that anyone who says anything bad about him are just lonely losers.
But I understand that guy that goes, he gets more attention, and now he's in a fight, and now he's got a communication, and now he's got something to do that day. I'm not defending the guys who leave negative comments, but I'm understanding it after that weekend alone. Is you're sitting there with little to nothing to do, and you throw a hateful thing out, and then someone's like, fuck you, and now you're talking.
Yeah.
And if you reply or I reply, that's a fucking home run. That's shut up. I got no fucking celebrity's head.
Yeah.
And this is the reason I don't read comments is one day one guy got in my head, and this guy who I don't know kind of fucked my day up. And I was like, why would I let that happen?
I mean, this guy just keeps inventing lousier ways.
Well, okay. Not really used to having Redacted take me on his journey here, but yeah, I guess I'll Bert Crasher here, can't spare a day for a little bit of shade. Can't handle spending a couple of days thinking about what might be happening. But yeah, old comedians doing their podcast, but even saying all that is hack. So I'm not even trying to point out that they're not even funny. I just want to watch their dynamics and their behavior. Excuse me. But again, I made the mistake of getting it all, secondhand material. You gotta get the material firsthand if you're gonna really get a sense of who these people are. And that's all I'm concerned about. I like to get to know who these people actually are here. Ron Jeremy, thank you. Sorry, I should have checked a long time ago. Again, that's why, hopefully the next day or two I'll be able to get a little bit of a different setup on my end, on the technical end, and not get lost in the sauce here, because sharing the screen, but old Bert here can spare a day to just have a little hate. Well, I mean, I think that's really all I got today. Probably need to space these live casts out a little bit further now, just so I can compile a bit more material. I'd like to kind of do it in these bursts initially to kind of get the whole algorithm going, but the old AI says, you got to give it at least 30 days and see what kind of happens out of that. But we'll see how, hopefully tomorrow or the next day I'll be able to get my next monitor and be set up a little bit more professional here, and work on those intros, because those do take a little bit of a dip. Like, I got to make sure that when I'm starting the show, I start the show, but I'm just kind of doing everything live. But yes, appreciate it. Yes, thank you so much, Jen, for hanging out, and it's been great to just kind of get thrown in the fire here and have you along for the ride. And I appreciate your insight, and yes, so it's been fun, and we'll do it again. I'm sure if I can get everything set up, it'll be tomorrow or the next day, and be maybe I'll get a nice little intro and some intro music. That's the next thing I'm working on. Well, that and the monitors, but trying to get the the lobby taken care of. So, all right, I appreciate it. Thank you, and thanks for hanging out, and appreciate it. Jesus Weed, thanks for hanging out, and we'll take it again, and we'll get a really nice examination of who these funny people are. So, thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you again.